Alright, so what we have here is a 1966 Magnavox A57502 amplifier. So this actually came out of a 1RP 662, which I had to junk because the cabinet was so crappy. And the main reason I got it was so I could take the components out of this and put it in my Kronberg. Alright, so there you can see the tag on the chassis. Okay, 1A57502. See the date on the bottom of that, 8 of 66. Alright, so here. Alright, we'll start with showing you the caps that are replaced. So I did the big can caps. Here are these two. Now I was doing some reading and I realized that the reason that these actually have the cardboard covers on them has to do with the positive ground. So that was kind of interesting, which kind of makes sense because you don't see it on very many consoles. But anyway, take that for what it's worth. So these are both 1500 microfarad, microfarad. They were at 35 volts, so I replaced these with 1500s at 50 volts. Okay, and so basically both of them have the positive lead going down to the center tap and the ground lead going out to the case. This one here with the phenolic insulator is the one that's actually positive grounded. You'll see that when I flip it over in a few minutes. And this one here is still normally I guess chassis grounded, negative grounded to the chassis, if you will. Okay, so there's those two guys. And I guess feel free to tell me if you think I should have done it differently or anything like that. I'm open to that. Don't care. Give you a hard time. I deserve it. It's all good. Okay. So here we go. Then the next four. Well, that lighting sucks. There we go. Try this a little better. Okay. So you can see these four here. These originally were these buggers on this particular amp, 500s at 15 volts. And what I replaced them with, 470s at 50 volts. And I did make sure that these are 105C temperature rated, as were the two in the can caps. It seems as though in some cases the original components are only up to 85C, but I think there was a mix. Sometimes you'll see them that were 105, and basically you're doing yourself a favor if you use a 105C component to replace an 85C component. You're just basically giving yourself a margin of safety or life expectancy and so forth. Alright, so then we go down here. Let me point to it with this screwdriver. This guy here was actually this fella, a 250 at 25 volts. And I think what I ended up replacing it with, well, actually here's another one left over. Get that in focus. 270 at 25 volts is what I replaced it with. And the reason for that is, I think you'll see it talked about in some cases. People talk about it. You don't always find current manufactured capacitors in the same, what you might call even numbered specifications as you find on some of these older pieces of equipment. They've kind of settled on stepped sizes, so like a 470 is much more common than a 500, and because of the tolerance range you can replace a 500 with a 470. So that's what happens. So 270, 250, same deal applies. You can replace a 250 with a 270. Okay, so this here was a center one. It's a 250 at 25, and so you just saw what I replaced it with. And then I also replaced these two. These were 250 at 10. Those went here. Oh, sorry, went here and here. Okay, and so I replaced those also with those Panasonic 270s. That whatever the heck the voltage was, I already forgot. Yeah, 105. Where's it at? God, crap. 270, 25. There you go. 270, 25. All right, so that covers those, and then the last two are these little small guys here, which were, oops, turn around, 50 at 3. And so I believe, gosh, hard to read there. Get them around. Those are 50 at, oh, that's the 85C. Where is it? They're 50 at 16 or something like that. I can't remember now. Can't see it. I'm getting blind. All right, so we'll flip this thing over real quick. Show you the bottom side. So then you see these two here. These are these two. There used to be 300s at 35. Okay, that's what they both were. So replace those with 330s. There you go, 330 at 50. All right, so that, once again, that 330 is within that tolerance range for replacing a 300. They're 105C caps, so should be good there. And I've got them in correctly with the positive going to ground. Okay, just like the original ones that came off. So there's one, and there's the other one. And you can see the bottom of the two can caps. There's the one that had the insulated base, and so you can see the center tap or cap, or the positive lead from the capacitor itself is going straight to the chassis ground. Okay, so that's the one that's the positive going to ground, and the other one, which is tucked back up in here where I point with the screwdriver, it's not positive to ground. You can see the red lead is the positive, and it's actually going up to here. Okay, so that basically covers it, I think, for the capacitors on this amp chassis. Now, what I haven't done yet is I haven't done anything to review and check out my resistors. So I think if you look and you can see, there's one right there that I'm kind of worried about. So I did buy a bunch of resistors, and I think, if I remember right, that whole row, those are 1 watt, 250 to either 220 or 270 ohm resistors at 1 watt. So I have what I need to replace them, so I just gotta decide if I want to go ahead and check them now, or if I want to put it back together and play. So anyway, hope you enjoyed.